What's going on, everyone? This is James Banks, real estate broker. I'm back with another one. Let's talk. First off, I know I look a little bit different. I'm clean. I'm shaving. Yes, I know. I don't look like a caveman all the time. I do get out of this cave every now so often. Okay. Um, but I wanted to talk on our last video when I described about niches. And I know I touched a little bit about it, and let me dive into it and tell you the reason why. There's a lot of semantics and things, the reason that agents are knowledgeable until they become a real estate agent. One as perspective that was recent. Did you know that certain cities now passed a law that you cannot door knock? And you can, but you have to first get a license through the certain city, as well as you are restricted to certain days and time frames. Otherwise, if you go against this nature, let's use an example like Cerritos, you can be fined. Fines that lands you upwards of $750, maybe a couple $1,000s. And this is information of why it's important to know your niche and know your clientele, because the general assumption that real estate agents are supposed to do is go door knock, do cold calls. Now, as our business gets harder and harder, and there are a lot of us, we have to kind of think outside the box and how to procure our clients. Okay, I've learned over the 10 years of my career of being a real estate agent that you have to sometimes think outside the box. One of the reasons why I've thought outside the box is because general phone calls and door knocking is only going to get you so far. Now, I've seen a plethora of agents try different methods. There are many different ways and angles you can do so. One of the angles that an agent way back in the past was used to send letters. They'll send personal greeting cards to lots of people in certain zip codes. Now, that wasn't the main takeaway because a lot of people just throw away their mail. Um, One of the things that he did to get his foot in the door, and it was low cost. These are organic way of marketing without spending thousands and thousands of dollars that people promise, okay, that you'll get clients from. And we see this a lot. He would put a lottery scratcher or a scratcher in the mail. So that way, when they see their letter, a scratcher would drop out. Now it's small in cost for him. He spends about $100 or $100 or so to send it out to over 100 different people in certain zip codes. But the impact is huge because people remember that. And if you think about it, that's why when you're going through your mail, every now and then you'll see somebody give you a free gift or a free dollar or two. Because you're going to remember, you're going to open that mail and say, who did this? And that's an actual way of marketing that we was taught long ago. Okay, there's other ways that you can look at, and we're going to get into more what I like to describe as your niche. Okay, if you have, and we'll use an example, if you're a person that is an average golfer, you like to go golfing on Sundays, Saturdays, Sundays regularly, and you have a golf club or a chapter that you belong to, that's your niche right there. Why aren't you, besides going to hit the putt, you know, and most times get a birdie or, no one gets a hole in one, but why aren't you speaking to a lot of the people and reaching out and say, hey, I'm a realtor. Hey, you have a property trying to sell? Hey, I hear you're over talking about property. Can I chime in? I've seen very aggressive people, which are also respectful, but they go where their business is. That's why they talk about that a lot of deals are done on the lawn of a golf course, because these are the only times you're going to find these people and find them relaxed enough to talk about business. Look at the aspect. Would you rather somebody approach you when you're not on work, or would you rather somebody approach you when you find a mutual relationship or a mutual thing to bond over, which is golfing? It can be golfing, it can be drinking, it can be chatting, it can be even fishing. There's lots of things that you can use to your advantage as an agent. Now, me as a realtor and broker, I would say that I like to go to parties. I like to go to parties, events, BT Awards weekends, different stuff. Mainly, I say that because I'm invited to this by a long list of different parties. So, because I'm invited, that's my niche right there. And people say, "Oh, James, why are you going to do that?" I say, "Well, Where else am I going to go to find one, music producers, two, Hollywood executive, three, artists, four, influencers, and the list goes on. But the main reason is they got money or they pretend they got money. But the fact is, I'm going where the money is at versus other people will just go and door knock and cold call, which eventually both can lead to nowhere. But I know from past experience that leads somewhere, especially if they don't remember you or want to work with you then. You may get a call 2 weeks, a month from now. Hey, I remembered you was at the party. To me, in my niche, and I've been told this, clients feel more comfortable meeting me at a party where they can share versus me coming to them and approaching them in a suit and say, "Hi, how you doing? My name is James. Let's get to selling your home." Some people don't respond to that, and people really want to build a connection. And sometimes it's personal. They want to know that you're going to help them and assist them, not that you're trying to profit and make money off of them. And the fact, and of course, we're all in it to make money. It's a business. But how you approach them, how you talk to them, and how you engage them is what matters. And I tell this to rookies all the time. Think outside the box. If you're going to the bar, if you're going to, let's say, use BJ's, if you're going to them as a restaurant, there are many people in BJ's you can talk to. I knew of an agent in the past that would reach out to the bartenders, to even clients. And I think this man cannot get a sale. He got at least over 5 sales in the past 8 months, only from just buying a person a drink and striking a conversation. So they spend what, $50 to $100 on a drinks and in a meal for somebody. Yet when you're spending thousands of dollars on marketing, it leads nowhere. Now I'm not saying it won't, but you have to try different options and see what works for you, especially as a real estate agent, and especially as you're growing in your business. You have to really see what offers and what helps you, not essentially just paying for these high expensive marketing strategies, paying for these conventions, these tours, these teachings. And you can have the best plan, but without any action, what's the point of your plan? And that's one of the things I wanted to share. We can always dive deeper. Feel free, if you have any questions you want to share, you want to pick my brain, ask me. I'm not going to bite. I'm not dangerous. But as rookies, don't fall into these traps a lot of times, and I've dealt it too. I went to the big conventions where I'm going to meet business, I'm going to make and generate business, and when I got there, it's just hundreds and hundreds of realtors. What I'm going to do, sell to them, and they're trying to sell to me? No. So that's why I suggest thinking outside your box, focusing on who's your clients, and developing more on your sphere of influence of your clients and where your clients are at, not just who your clients is. Because if you look at where your clients at, that's a whole nother avenue of sphere of influence. Because a lot of people tend to think that they can find clients by cold calling and door knocking. In today's times, things are always changing and you always have to adapt. And as a realtor and a broker that's been surviving for over 10 years, you got to learn how to adapt. Because if you don't adapt, you're going to fall into the past. And you don't want to be that. So that's my tips. I wanted to share on niche part 2. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out. You'll see us dropping more content, more strategies, more tips, more informational. And if you always got a question, feel free to reach out. Okay, that's my 2 cents. I'll leave you guys with that. Let us do a little bit. Let you guys think about it. Feel free to reach out and talk to me if you want to have any more questions regarding real estate, regarding property management, or if you just want to know some insights from a broker or real estate agent's point of view. Thank you guys. Have a blessed one. I'll talk to you guys later.